it be like say France one match military base for Nigeria. Una know say every rumor dey get atom of truth inside. Mona just listen to this northern man. Una know say all these Hausa people dey get information. So anything wey dey react on, Mona know say that thing, e be like say the thing wan happen. Mona just listen to this man. Mona hear wetin talk regarding Tinubu and France relationship. Mona watch this video.
Thank you for joining us. Now let's go straight into it. This Nigeria-France relationship is not a new relationship, and it's a significant one. France is our biggest trade partner in Europe, and we're their biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. It's a $5 billion relationship. But France is courting a new bride now that the Francophone countries like Senegal, Chad, Niger and Mali are abandoning, their former colonial masters and looking for newer relationships. However, Nigeria is using this as an opportunity to deepen our ties with France. What positives do you see from this relationship, particularly when it comes to security and our economy? And also, it was said yesterday that Nigeria signed an MOU with France in the mining space. Do you believe that this is going to have positive outcomes for the country?
No. To be honest, I'm terribly nervous, and every Nigerian should be. Okay, let's look at our relationship with France, past, present, and the future. So when France has been in all these Francophone African countries, West Africa, for 66 years, and they've been kicked out. They've been kicked out of recently Chad, Senegal, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, five of your neighbors kicked a colonial master, and all of a sudden you are hugging that person. There is something you guys know that we don't know. But let's look at the history of France in Africa or anywhere else in the world. It's not been good. Look at all these countries. You need to ask yourself, why was France kicked out of those places? They were literally sucking their resources. And there is no development in any of these countries. Any. You go to Chad, you go to Mali, you go to Burkina Faso, you go to Niger, there is nothing to see, but they've been sucking their uranium and gold. All of a sudden, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in this love fest with Macron and France. We're asking ourselves why. What do we have in common with France? Literally nothing. You look at our history with France. France has been one of the major countries that was opposed to a united Nigeria. France opposed the creation of ECOWAS. France opposed the creation and sabotaged the creation of a single ECOWAS currency, the ECO. And France literally sabotaged ECOWAS by this young military hunters leaving ECOWAS. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. ECOWAS is now just a shell. Wherever France is not good. Mr. President, you are not talking to Nigerians. You remember after the coup in Niger? Nigeria, the president had just started. He had not even assembled his team. Or he said, we're going to attack France. We're going to attack Niger. And I'm sure prodded by France. We in the North resisted vehemently. We are not going to allow Nigeria to invade Niger because the fight was going to be a proxy war. America, the United States of America, had one of the biggest drone bases in Agadas, in Niger. Yeah, this thing was, they're going to fight Islamists and all that. No. Insecurity has been much worse where you have foreign bases by these foreign countries. The reason France is cozying to Nigeria and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is allowing them to, and we will resist, is because they are looking for a place to situate their military base after being kicked out. We in the North, which is a place they are looking to locate these bases, we in the North will vigorously resist any foreign military boot on our soil. So, Mr. President, you need to know we do not have any historical ties, defense or economic or linguistic with France. And all this causing the French are doing, the reception they gave Mr. President was fit for a king. He will not get that if he goes to England or the United States or anywhere in the world. What is France getting for that? France wants three things. One, it wants right to concessions to exploit our minerals, which are predominantly in the north, which is what they've been doing in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Number two, they want concessions in oil and gas. Oh, that's why they said, oh, I heard the spokesman of the president saying, oh, Total is going to invest 750 million in gas. And I ask myself, is this true or is this fiction? Because this same Total, 17 months ago, 16 months ago in July, exited Nigeria and sold all its stake at 860 million to a Mauritius-based company and left. Their reasons were sabotage, theft, oil spillage, and high cost of lawsuits. So what has changed in 16 months that they are coming back again? After selling 860 million and left town, or they are coming to invest 750 million, we were told. It's not going to happen. So they are looking for three things. They are looking to come and exploit our mineral resources predominantly in the north. They are looking to explore oil and gas, which they ran away from, and they are coming. And number three, most importantly, most worrying, and everybody in Nigeria, I beg you to lend me your ears. We will resist vehemently any attempt by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government to allow any foreign military base on our soil, particularly in the north, because it's going to be a harbinger of trouble. All these lacura things you're hearing, it is the French that started all of this things. They started all of this things. Wherever France was in West Africa, there's no peace. Why would President Bola Ahmed Tinubu bring them back without consulting anybody? So, military base, France or America or any country will be resisted vigorously by all of us because this is a country we love and we're not going to allow recolonization of this Nigeria like they've done in the other countries. In Hausa, there is a saying, in kaga gemu dan uwanka ya kama wuta, ka sa naka ruwa. If you see the beard of your neighbor catches fire, put water, dampen water on yours. Well, France has put fire all over the Sahel. And we are inviting them into our household? No, we are not going to do that. Business, do that. And it has to go through due process. And I'm calling on our sleepy, do-nothing 10th Assembly to wake up to its responsibility. They are the ones we elected. They are the ones who should checkmate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in all the opaque things he's been doing. He disappears into France for working holiday, and nobody knows what he's going to do there. Like he's being called for consultation. This is a democracy, not a military rule. And we need to know what our government and our president is taking us into. But foreign military base is a no-no. And exploiting our mineral resources behind our back is not going to happen. It's going to be transparent, there's going to be open bid, and all of us stakeholders must be involved in this. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Professor Usman, thank you so much for your submissions this morning. Well, let's even lean further into the geopolitical implications of this relationship, considering the current rivalry between Western powers and China for influence in the global south. How does Nigeria's embrace of France fit into this dynamic? Could this partnership position Nigeria as a critical player in balancing global power, or is there a risk in alienating other potential allies such as China or Russia?
That is what Nigeria is just going to be used as a pawn. And it's essentially sticking out our neck and giving it to them. And the fight is not between the West and China. No, the fight is between the West and Russia. Look at what just happened in Syria. Look at just what happens in Syria. The rebels took over Aleppo. Look at what's happening in Ukraine. Look at what's happening in Israel. is going to be a proxy war between between NATO and Russia. Because all these French West African countries, they are inviting Russia after kicking America, after kicking China. So it's going to be a proxy war, and we are not going to be part of it. We are going to resist it, especially all of us in the North that are going to bear the full brunt of any recklessness of bringing any foreign food on our soil. We're not going to accept it. So China is it's not about China. It's about United States, NATO, and Russia. So, Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are elected by us. You must speak to us. You are not going to commit us to any foreign military presence in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And whatever investments you do must be vetted by our sleepy 10th Assembly. They must wake up. But I call on all Nigerians, particularly our elders, our governors, our National Assembly, our traditional rulers and clerics, to look, danger is coming. Our Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's romance with France is no good news for Nigeria. Thank you.
The presence of France in any African country always attracts the attention of Russia. It is not surprising why northern people were boldly waving the Russian flag during the End Bad Governance protest. And that, to me, is a direct invitation of Russia. Only the presence of Russia in Nigeria can shake and destroy this evil foundation upon which Nigeria is built. And then everyone will answer their father's name. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been ranked as the third most corrupt leader globally by the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP. Tinubu, who became Nigeria's president in 2023, was named among the top 5 finalists for the OCCRP's 2024 Corrupt Person of the Year list, published on Monday, December 30th. The list, determined by over 55,000 votes from readers, journalists and members of OCCRP's global network, also featured Kenyan President William Ruto, former Indonesian President Joko Widodo, former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and Indian businessman Gautam Adani. Ruto emerged as the most voted nominee, followed closely by Widodo. We asked for nominations from readers, journalists, the Person of the Year judges, and others in the OCCRP global network, stated the OCCRP. These finalists represent the most corrupt figures in 2024. Tinubu's presidency has been fraught with controversies over his wealth, which critics argue remains unexplained. Allegations of drug trafficking, forgery, and financial malpractice have persisted, tarnishing his administration. In May 2023, it was revealed that his son, Seyi Tinubu, owned a $10.8 million London mansion previously linked to Nigerian businessman Kolawole Aluko, who allegedly acquired the property with crime proceeds. Similar properties in the United Kingdom have also been linked to the Tinubu family. The year saw nationwide protests against Tinubu's administration, sparked by policies critics labeled as anti-people. Demonstrators decried worsening hunger, poverty, and governance failures. The most notable protests, the #EndBadGovernance movement from August 1 to 10, saw mass arrests, including more than 20 children. Detained protesters faced treason charges, prompting widespread media and social media outcry that eventually secured their release. Critics argue that Nigeria has suffered significant declines in economic stability, security, leadership integrity, and human rights under Tinubu's leadership. OCCRP's recognition of Tinubu as one of the world's most corrupt leaders underscores mounting concerns over his administration's transparency and accountability. As protests and criticisms continue, questions about Tinubu's legacy and Nigeria's future remain unresolved. Stay tuned and have a blessed new year.